Hello there, welcome to our mid-year homeschool update. If you're interested in hearing how homeschooling is going for us so far this year and how the month of June went for us, then keep on watching. Hey there, if you're new, I'm Christine and I am a homeschooling mom of 3 kids. They're currently 9, 7, and 5 years old. And we have been homeschooling since the beginning. I was also homeschooled from age 10 right through to graduation. So that's a little of my backstory. But today's video is really just to give you an update on how our homeschool year has gone so far. I can't believe that we're halfway through. Like, it feels wild to me. I feel like I just announced our homeschool curriculum picks for the year and now we're halfway through, you know. But yeah, usually I do monthly homeschool updates, and I just thought that this month, seeing as we're halfway through, it'd be a good idea to kind of like review our curriculum so far and give you kind of an idea of how I'm feeling about them, and just give you an update on how this past month went. Honestly, as far as school goes, it was pretty uneventful. I feel like we didn't have too many disruptions to the schedule. We did take a week off the 3rd week of June. My husband had a week of leave off, and so we took that week, and it was good. We did nothing really the whole week. We just sort of chilled out, and then my kids went to my in-laws for a couple of nights, and my husband and I got to go out for dinner and stuff, which was really nice. So it wasn't anything crazy. That was just kind of like our scheduled school break, and we took it, and it was good. I will say that one thing I have pretty much dropped is morning virtues, and not because there's anything wrong with morning virtues. We loved, we did the Beatrix Potter unit. I think we did over 2, yeah, we did it over 2 terms, and then we started the Lewis one, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just, I don't know, I don't know if it's winter time and I'm kind of dragging at the moment, and I just haven't had the extra oomph to sort of add in a lot of those extracurriculars at the moment. And so we did start it. We started Lewis, and we've done a little bit, like we kind of read the first chapter of the Chronicles of Narnia. And then the days, I'm tired. Come lunchtime, I'm done, and we've kind of like filled everything in as much as we can. And so I think for now I'm going to just leave it. I don't think I'm going to continue with it for the year. Again, this is not a reflection on morning virtues. I love morning virtues. I think it's very well put together and really sweet. But for us right now, I just feel like my days are too full. I will say, from a personal viewpoint, the month of June was really challenging for me. I've had just some health issues going on that have made it, like, nothing terribly serious or anything, but it definitely has like made the day-to-day very challenging. And so hopefully that'll be a bit easier going forward. I've kind of been like working on stuff, and so hopefully it'll be easier going forward. But the month of June, honestly, was just a really hard month for me mentally. And so yeah, school has been fine, but I have been struggling quite a bit, and my struggles have kind of like filtered into everything, because it just makes it feel like the whole world's ending when it's not actually ending. But that's kind of been how I've been feeling. And so I've been feeling a lot of overwhelm and just sluggishness and stuff. And so that is just an honest take on how June went. It was the first month of winter here, and the weather hasn't been too terrible, but I'm definitely realizing that I am like my motivation levels are very heavily motivated, or very strongly influenced by the temperature. Where if I am too hot, I just don't want to do anything. If I'm too cold, I don't want to do anything. I just want to be like autumn and spring. That's like my time. My body feels good. And outside of that time, I struggle a lot. Doesn't mean I'm not doing the things, but it's a lot harder to like be disciplined and get it done. So yeah, that's kind of a backstory on June. I don't think I really have anything else to add to that. Aside from my son did finish Times Tales, and I'm going to do a whole video on that because I'm very happy with it. So he is back to just doing math with confidence now, and it's been very good that he did the times tables. Let's just say that. I'm very, very happy with it. I don't think we've changed anything else. He's still using sequential spelling. I'm still very happy with that. I really like it. I feel like, yeah, let's jump into the curriculum reviews. Shall we just like go right into that, and I'll let you know my thoughts. I've got my notes here because my brain doesn't remember all the things these days. Here we go. Okay, so I'm not going to go into huge, great depth and detail because I kind of save that for the end of the year when I do like a grade by grade breakdown. So I'm just going to do a general overview. Abeka, I'm using it for my two daughters. My older one's using grade 1 and my youngest is using K4. I'm very happy with it at the moment. I don't regret having picked it at all, and I'm really happy to continue with it. It's doing a good job. My youngest daughter, I feel like the pace at which she's learning to read is perfect. There's like so much practice on just like blending. And I just feel like it's really age appropriate and fantastic. Her confidence is growing. There's no like big tears or anything over feeling like less than. So really happy with that. And then my daughter, who's technically in 2nd grade, but she's doing grade 1 Abeka, she is close. Like I think she's up to lesson 120 something. So she's nearing the end of that grade, and I've been really happy with it. Her reading is great, but I will say she's struggling at the moment because reading is still work for her. My older son, he got to the point where it just like clicked, and it wasn't so much an effort. Like he can sit down now and read pretty fluently without having to stop and sound out words very often, that kind of thing. Whereas my daughter still, it's like she can read without having to sound out every word or anything like that. But it still is work. And so I am finding that is influencing her attitude to some of her language arts. Like when she's doing her book work, it's just hard work for her. And so she's not enjoying it quite as much as she was. But I also know that it's only for a season, and she will click, and it will get that much easier. And so I'm just kind of like doing a lot more hand holding at the moment, just so that it's not miserable for both of us. But she's really competent. She's doing incredibly well, and I'm very proud of her with that. Let's move on to math with confidence, because all 3 of my kids are using math with confidence. My elder son is just finishing up grade 3. He's just starting unit 15, so he's got 2 units left. He's doing great with it. Really happy. His math is great. I do like that there's so much explanation in the curriculum because because he's good at things, he tends to try and like just skip ahead and be as efficient as possible. Problem is, sometimes in that effort, things are missed, and so you end up with the wrong answer. And so I really like being able to sit down and be like, well, no, you need to go step by step. You need to hit these targets basically in order to get the correct end result. And so I really enjoyed the curriculum from that standpoint. For my middle daughter, who's in grade 2, great. Really happy with it. She's not necessarily as naturally mathematically minded as her older brother. In fact, neither of my girls are. They're not bad at math, but it definitely is something I have to work a bit more at. Whereas like language arts, they both tend to be a little bit more natural with that. But I just love it. It's just such a good curriculum. She enjoys it. It's not too much work. And she's definitely learning. And like this week, we've been learning about telling the time. And she is just looking so happy and chuffed with herself because she knows how to look at the clock now and tell the time down to the minute, and that's been really great. So happy with that. And then my youngest daughter is in their kindergarten level, and she's doing okay with it, but she definitely, like with her number sense, it's just going to take a little bit more time, and that's fine. So we're going through it, but I'm also recognizing that she has work to do in certain areas, but I don't feel like it's enough that we need to stop, because I know that a lot of next year will be repeat, and developmentally she would have just caught up. So I am just not pushing because I don't want it to be a fight or a struggle with her, because she's just literally, her brain hasn't figured certain things out yet, and that's okay. So we're just going through it and enjoying it, and I'm pushing her a little bit because she does tend to be more of a perfectionist and doesn't like it when she gets things wrong. And just as part of character development, it's good to, push yourself and realize you don't have to get everything right the first time. The whole point in school is that you are learning. So this is something that I've had to go through with one of my other kids, and so it's not new to me, and I'm not afraid of it. But it is definitely showing itself more so in math more than anything else. Handwriting, they're all using the Good and the Beautiful at the moment. I started my youngest on their level K this term because she has been using Becca's, I think it's Writing with Phonics, and that's fine, but she wanted more, and she really loves like the little art, like the picture and the drawing and stuff like that as well, that the Good and the Beautiful includes. And so I've got that PDF. I bought that years ago when my son started, and so I printed that out for her, and she's really enjoyed that. And the other two are doing fine. They're doing great. Happy with their handwriting. What else can I speak to? Literature. My older two are using Sunlight Literature. My son is doing, I think, 4th grade or maybe 3rd grade readers. He might be doing 3rd grade readers. Yeah, 3rd grade readers. He's actually ahead of there. I've let him kind of like, if he wants to read an extra chapter, that's fine. So he's doing really well. He's really enjoyed it this year, and that's been fun. And then my daughter is just about to finish up the 1st grade readers and start on the 2nd grade readers. So I've already got those because my son used those last year, but she's doing great as well. I am so glad that I made the decision to use Sunlight readers as independent reading practice for them. I've honestly seen both of them grow in confidence so much, and it's so nice to like let them go read without me sitting over their shoulder like correcting all of their mistakes that they're making, because we do have a time to do that in their actual language arts. They both read to me from specified readers, but Sunlight for them is totally independent, and I just do the comprehension questions to make sure they're actually doing what they're supposed to be doing. But honestly, I just have found that it's made a huge difference. So I've been really, really pleased with that. Okay, sequential spelling. So I've been also very happy with this program. My son is doing great with it. It's completely hands-off and independent, but I can go and check and see what he's doing, so that's really good. And yeah, I've just seen his confidence grow a lot more. He's not necessarily a greatly proficient speller yet, and that's fine. That'll come with time, but his confidence level has grown a lot, and that's been fantastic. And then the last one I'll speak to is Sunlight. We use it for Bible, history and literature, and also our science. So history, read alouds, all of that's been going great. We did Adventures with Waffles, was the read aloud we've just finished. And honestly, I didn't love it. My kids seemed to really enjoy it, but there was just some things in it that I didn't love. Like, I'm all for kids being mischievous and such, but there just wasn't, like, kind of like did naughty things and just got away with it. And I didn't like that. There were no like consequences for their bad behavior. And I'm definitely not somebody who likes goody-goody books. Like, honestly, it's kind of the reason that I don't love a lot of the Good and the Beautiful literature, because it's very like moral based, and like I don't think there's anything wrong with that in and of itself, but when that's all you have, it kind of gets a little bit like, what, you know? I want to see conflict, but I also want to see resolution. And so I didn't love that about Adventures with Waffles, but it was, you know, it had some sweet elements to it, and it was good like discussion and talking time, and so yeah, it's been fine. And then what else have we done? History, we're currently reading the story of Louis Braille, and that is fantastic. My kids, the first chapter, my son was like, I don't want to read this book, it's horrible, da da da, and it was when like Louis lost his sight. It was very sad, and he really didn't like that, but we've, you know, persisted, and it's been really good. The kids are learning. I think it's a very well written book, so that's been really cool. And then science, we just started on like anatomy and physiology, the human body, and that's been really interesting. I geek out on that. Like, if you don't know, I am a trained nurse, and I loved anatomy and physiology when I was in high school. I actually did like college level course, and it was like my favorite subject when I was actually doing nursing. So yeah, I've been really enjoying that, and just like it comes very naturally for me to teach that as well. So the science has been good. I'm happy with it. I will give you a little spoiler, and that is that we're not using Sunlight Science next year. There are a few reasons for that. One is budget. It's just expensive, guys. Like, having stuff, I mean, Sunlight's expensive, but having it shipped over to New Zealand is super expensive. But there's also other reasons, and I've also had this other curriculum sitting on my shelf for a few years now, knowing that I would eventually go to it. And my kids are gonna be the age that it's gonna suit really well, and I'm excited to do that. So it's ages away. I will share it when I do my curriculum reveal at the end of the year, but for now, I'm not gonna use Sunlight Science next year, and I will talk a lot more about that when I do it. There's nothing wrong with it right now, it's fine. I've really enjoyed it the last couple of years. The kids love the science videos, but we will be changing next year. So that's, I think that like covers everything that we're using at the moment. Oh, we did add in mind benders from Critical Thinking Co. I've done a couple of sponsored videos with them over the last month or so, and I honestly just can't stop raving about them. I really think that they're a fantastic company. I have been so impressed with how they have treated me throughout the collaboration. You guys wouldn't believe, like, I actually sent an email back today. Usually I ignore these kind of emails, but I was feeling just a little bit salty this morning, and so I decided to respond, and it was from a company that asked if I'd be interested in doing a collaboration, if they could send me their products, and I said, well, like, the product that they were wanting to send me, I am not in need of. And so I was like, I'm more than happy for you to send it to me, and I can do a review because it's still relevant to my audience, and I do think that people would enjoy it. And it would be a great fit, that kind of thing. And so I was like, that's fine here. Like, do you want me to send you my rates? And the response I so often get from companies is, I'm sorry, but we don't have a budget for paid collaborations right now, but we still think that our product is going to be a really great fit for your audience. And I'm like, well, yeah. And I also don't have the budget to be doing free promotions on my YouTube channel. I'm sorry, but I don't. So I did send an email to that effect. That was politely worded, but definitely got my point across, because I'm sorry, but you know, years of work to get to this point, and I'm very picky about the collaborations that I do, because I know that you guys trust what I say, and I do not want to steer you in the wrong direction. And so, yeah, it was just like, when I compare the two like experiences, I'm just like, Critical Thinking Co was amazing, and they were so generous and kind, and just like really great with their expectations and everything. And so, yeah, but aside from all that, like, their products are great. My kids have loved the Mind Benders series. Every day it's like the first thing they want to do for school, like all three of my kids. So the logic puzzles have been lots of fun, and I enjoy them too. I love logic puzzles. So I've got like an app on my phone that I do them with as well. So anyway, that's been something we added in this term, and it's been going really well so far. Yeah, but I think that wraps it up. I think that's my June update and my sort of mid-year homeschool update. I'm going to do another video on my goals for the second half of this year, and just chat a little bit about that. So keep an eye out, because that's coming soon. And I think that's everything. So if you have questions, leave them down in the comments below, and I will do my best to answer. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
What if the world had more of your smile? What if the